All right, here we go. So today's lesson is photo manipulation number three, double light. First thing first, what we want to do is, well, before we get into that, today I'm going to show you how to make a lighting effect in Photoshop, right? So what this is we're gonna take this image of NBA YoungBoy, and we're gonna make it look like two different lights are reflecting off of his face, right? Gonna make it look like this, two different lights reflecting on his face, right? So first, what you want to do is you want to go in the hub, find my class, go to resources, scroll down to manipulation number three, double light, click on it, and you're gonna download the NBA YoungBoy picture. Once you download it, open up Photoshop, and what you want to do is click open, find that picture right here, and you want to open it. Right, I already have it open, so I don't have to do that. So once you have it open, what you want to do now, first things first, over here in this layers menu, if you don't see this layers menu, you can always go to Windows and click on layers, and it'll pop up right here. So you have your layers menu. You want to double click on this lock right here. Boom. Click OK when the menu pops up. Now we have this layer unlocked and we can work with it. So first thing you want to do is over here in the tools panel, find the crop tool. It's the third one down in the first row. And you want to go ahead and crop up right to his hand. Take this in just a little bit. Take this in just a little bit. Once you have it where you want it, double click and go ahead and get the move tool so you won't mess up the crop. All right, so now we got this where we want it. Let's zoom in a little bit. So what you can do on your keyboard, you can hold down the control button uh, and hit the plus sign. That'll get us a big enough image that we can work with. So now that we have an image that we can work with, what we want to do is go up to at the very top, hit select. Let's go ahead and select subject. And what this is going to do is going to select NBA YoungBoy. You see, it's selected around him. So it's pretty much selected NBA YoungBoy, right? So now that we have him selected, what we want to do now, at the very bottom of going back to the layers panel, the very bottom, we want to select this folder. What it's going to do is going to create a new group, right? We're going to work within this group. So once we have that selected, right next to it, what we want to do is, well, before we do that, what we want to do is make sure some of you, it may be white and black. I want you to turn this to black and white. Or if it's any other color, you can just hit this down here to make these two squares black and white. Not white and black, but black and white. All right. So next what we're going to do is we're going to, while this is still selected, right? We're going to hit this circle with the this half black and half white circle. The very bottom you'll see gradient map, right? Let's go ahead and click that. Boom. You should see NBA YoungBoy change to black and white. This is good, so it's a great first step. So once we see him change black to, to black and white, right here you should see this bar going from black to white. This is called your gradient map right here. This is actually your gradient map going black to white. What this does, the black parts, the darker parts on his face, on his body, will be black, and the lighter parts will be white. So all the highlights will be white, and all the shadows will be black around his body. So what we want to do on this bar, we want to double click this bar. It's going to open up this gradient editor, right? This white square right here at the very bottom to the right, we want to double click that white square. Boom. And it's going to bring up Let's move this out the way so we can see. It's gonna bring up this color picker or whatnot. Pick any color you want to. You can move this up and down, right? To whatever color you want. I'm gonna go to a nice light blue. And you come over here, you can click and drag around and pick any color you want. And you should see the image start to change. If the image doesn't change, 9 times out of 10, it's because you don't have this layer selected. You gotta have this layer selected, and the box has to be around this layer mask. So I'm gonna go with a nice light blue, kinda light on it, right? Once you have the color the way you want it, just click OK. Click OK again, and you should be at this point right here where his whole face and body is one solid color, right? So next, what you want to do right here, going back to the layers panel, right where it says normal, I want you to click that and it should bring up a menu. And I want you to go and scroll down until you see hard light. I want you to click hard light. You know, it's going to give it a more realistic look. And now from here, I want you to go next, right next to hard light. You'll see opacity. Let's change the opacity. Let's bring it down to make it look a little bit more realistic. Let's say to about right. Let's say to about 65% for right now. Let's leave it at 65%, right? So now it's time to change the opposite side of his face to a different light. Because remember, this lesson is double light. This is double light, so it's two different light sources from both sides of his face or whatnot. So what you want to do from here, just want to go back to your tools menu over here, and one, two, three, four, the fifth one down. If you hover over it, should be a brush tool. I want you to click on your brush tool, right? Go up here to these settings right here. You should see a number. You should a circle and a number. Click down on that arrow. See, mine is already set because I did this before. And let's change this to 150. Change the brush size to 150, and the hardness. We're going to leave this. We're going to, if it's all the way over, if it's at 100%, turn it all the way down to 0%, right? Once we have the size at 150 and the hardness to 0, go ahead and hit enter on your keyboard, and you can close that menu down, right? Now make sure you should see that your squares changed back to white and black. Remember, I told you wanted to be black and white. So go ahead and hit these arrows and make sure that that's back black and white, right? Cool. So now we're going to take this brush and let's go ahead and just on his face, that's on his face, start to erase with the brush. This side of his face, get his eye, just anywhere where you want the different light source to shine. About right here. That's pretty good. A little bit right there. That's pretty good. That's why I want the light source to shine, right? So we got that down packed, right? Cool. So next, what we want to do is, okay, yeah. What we want to do is we want to duplicate this gradient map right here. We just want to duplicate this gradient map one. So on your keyboards, I want you to hold down Control and click the letter J. And what that's going to do, it's going to make a gradient map copy. It's exactly what we want, right? You may see the image change. It may have got darker or whatnot. That's cool. This is what we want right now. So when we have on that, once we have that gradient map one copy, what I want you to do on your keyboard is hit Control and press the letter I. And what this is going to do is invert it. Invert the image, right? So once we have that image inverted, I want you to come up here, right back next to your, right up here to your gradient map, right here, your gradient map right here. Double click that again. Go down to the bottom right little square. Should have that color you picked the first time. Double click that and find another color. Let's choose another color, right? I want to go with, I probably go with an orange or red. I'm gonna go with a red for this one here, right? I'm gonna go with red. All right. Once I have the color I want, I hit OK, and you should see, like, you see this a double light effect. You still have your original light. You have a and you have this different light here. So, but what I like to do before I finish is go back over to the tools um, menu, find your eraser tool, and just go ahead and start. Oops. If you ever mess up like this, you can hit Control Z and then undo, right? So I messed up on that. So make sure we're on the eraser tool, right? And what we want to do is, you see I had this selected, so let's just go right here. Make sure I'm on the right thing. Go to gradient map 1 and just kind of start erasing some of these things here. Go to gradient map, copy, and just start to kind of erase some of this here to kind of make it back. Switch what you want to do right here. Remember the black and white squares? Let's switch that to white and black and start to erase. You should start to see some of the white come back. This is what we want right here. Try to make it look a little realistic, right? Go to gradient map 1, do the same thing. Now check it out. Now we coming back. There we go. Bring some of this back in. Bring some of this back in. Take some of that out right here. There we go. There we go. And you can see right here, let's get back to, you can see right here, I'm not erasing. Just pointing, let's take it off of that. See right here in this area, it's still kind of dark. It don't look as realistic, so I want to come back. Well, I'm on gradient map 1. I can bring that down, the opacity down a little bit. Go to gradient map 2. That red's a little harsh. I can bring that down or up. But there you have it. You just want to make sure that you have 2 different light sources on both sides. And even if you want to change the color of those light sources, you can go back to gradient map 1, click the gradient map, double click the gradient map, double click the little square, come and change it to a different color. Go purple, nice purple, right? Click OK, click OK. I don't like, say if I don't like the color of gradient map, the right side, I can come back, click the gradient map, click the little square. Let's say I want to change that to a yellow. Click OK, click OK. So you can keep doing that as many times as you want to. And once you have it where you want it, what you want to do is click File, save a copy on your computer, and just put your name, save it, and turn it in the hub, right? So that's once again, file, save a copy. Do not save as. Save a copy. Save on your computer. Rename the file, your name, and click save. All right, I holla. Peace. Adios. Ciao, Bella.